Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a nice time and have had a good lunch too. My name is Dorcas Muthoni, and I've been very pleased to meet so many people that I met uh, for a very long time. I've been in this industry for the last 25 years, and within this internet ecosystem, we've done lots of work together. And I'm here to just share some of the things that have come out of the work that we've done with many colleagues, which led to the formation of AFCHIX. So allow me to introduce AFCHIX, which is an organization that I founded many years ago as a result of a need that I found myself in. So I was one of the first employees of the Kenya Education Network. I don't know. I have not seen very many entrants here, but I saw Renu. There might be others that I don't know. But when we started the Kenya Education Network, I found myself alone there in the organization, the only female, and I was a bit concerned, and I was wondering why many women were not opting to join our very interesting project that was connecting universities to the internet for the first time in Kenya within one niche network. But I was surprised that that was because we were really few right from the beginning. I hadn't noticed this when we were at the university. We were already very few women in our faculty at the university studying computer science. So we all dispersed into different organizations and we found ourselves alone. And I know many men have worked in men-only groups, not by choice, but the fact that we are very few women. So out of that, I was motivated to go down to the high schools and just tell them to opt into computer science. And together with many women who were alone in the department, we built a community called AFCHIX. And our vision really is to have an equitable digital world for everybody. And we do this by encouraging people to get together. And we create opportunities, mentorship, capacity building, and role modeling opportunities, especially for younger women. Because when we do this, then they can relate. You'll see our values right there. Because we believe that when we all thrive and when we all get together and create opportunities to volunteer, support, to pay it forward through respect, integrity, openness, and freedom, and also considering work-life balance challenges that we all make as life choices come into play, then we will get there. And we also continuously enhance the ability to be a bit adaptive and innovative, especially to different contexts as the women grow. So that's what we stand for as AFCHIX. We've done many activities because out of the different networking opportunities, we founded many chapters across at least 25 African countries, where we ran seminars in schools, digital literacy programs, technical workshops, online seminars, national conferences, and also discussions. And we work with many organizations hand in hand because we believe that there's no special island for women. We have to just be within the same ecosystem. So we do it together. So this is what we've done so far. Gone up to 25 countries where we have chapters of people doing different things that help to really impact women and girls who want to be in the tech career. And out of these, we've reached at least 17,000 people. We also engaged in gender digital divide programming, which allowed us to build community networks with AFCHIX community members across 4 different countries: Namibia, Kenya, Senegal, and Morocco. And out of that, we were able to connect rural schools and also help just to transfer our technical skills to local women. So it's a really good way of paying it forward, whether you want to just impact technical women or you want to go down and motivate young girls to get into computer science or related industries, as well as just do community work, because that's what we enjoy doing. So we've been part of the AF Star community, the AFCHIX, the AFPIF, Dot Africa, AFTLD. We've been involved in all these communities, and we always bring in this gender angle of inclusivity, because we believe that people are looking for community that helps them to relate. And we found that to be very good for, different women in different ecosystems. But what is important is what we're about to share. So last year, we spent some time trying to figure out from our community, what would you like us to do more? And we learned something very interesting, that when we train in safe spaces, we encourage a lot more women to grow in their technical careers. It's a bit surprising, but I promise you that it's like sometimes you can move to a new geography where you cannot relate to the people around you all the time. And the next time you find somebody who you can relate to from maybe your culture or whatever else background that you relate to, you feel at home. So we found that it helps when women have safe spaces for training, because it helps us to create collaborations, create mentorship, create community, and that's what AFCHIX is about. And in the process, then they go back and do different things that help us to pay it forward and role model to other women within their local communities. So this is what we do, and that's what we have found that women need to actually, thrive as women in tech. But that doesn't mean that we do it in isolation. We do it all together. So I just want to introduce to you a program that we have relaunched with a better structure, that we would like to encourage people within this community to come and work with us in increasing the number of women in technology. Our Women in Tech leadership program looks at the leaky pipeline of women in STEM. And I'll just explain this chart on screen right now. So we all went to school to be able to join different university degree programs. And we all started at a primary level. And at around the age of 10, 11, maths became maths, and science became science. And at that point, people begin to develop different orientations to subjects. It's provoked by many things. Sometimes you could be influenced positively by people around you. Sometimes it could be negative, but sometimes it's simply attitude of even your peers. And one of the things that happens is that it's very common to hear some people say, maths is not for me. But it's been associated with girls a lot. We don't know what's the reason, but we know it happens. At this point, I want us to take a bit more energy from the food you just ate, and I want to request all the gentlemen in the room to stand up. If you're a gentleman in the room, if you identify as a gentleman in the room, a he, please stand up. Please, please, please. Yes, please. I can still see, I don't want to see a hand up. I want to see the full body up. The full body up. Yeah, I'm also about to ask you to do an S, because I think the food was really nice. Gentlemen, don't resist. It's not going to be harmful. I'm still seeing a few gentlemen. Okay, so I want the ladies to just stand back from where you're sitting and check the population. This sounds like a normal technology department. This looks like to me like a normal technology department. Now sit down. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I want to ask the ladies to stand up. The ladies, please. Only ladies, only. Okay, I just want you to tell me, can you see through when I'm on this side? This side, I could hardly see the women when the men were standing, but now I can see the men. And that's been our game. Ladies, kindly sit down. Thank you so much. So that's our life. We are always less. I want to actually tell you that our program definitely works with technical women, and these are the people who are working in engineering, in the technical areas. But we have a lot of support right now from people working around our technical organizations, and that has increased the number of women in technology. But we are more worried when, girls shift their interest in maths and science. But I just want to tell you the power of all those men who were standing. I'll tell you my own story about my dad. So I came to learn later in life that my dad was very influential in my life because he taught me not to be afraid of anything, right? And I just want to encourage all these gentlemen here that if you have a young girl in your life, whether it's your daughter, whether it's your niece, whether it's a sister, that you are actually a very powerful influencer in the growth of women in tech. And we are working on programming that is going to encourage a lot of that to happen, because many of the things that we take for granted are actually the ones that actually change the trajectory. So I want you to know, because I believe most of the men here would be engineers. Kindly, if you have a daughter, speak to her about what you do. You'll be very surprised how much they are taking in by just observing your work. And that's actually one of the best ways to increase the number of women in tech, right from this stage of age 10 and 11, very influential. So that's one of the areas where we need to seal the leakage, and we work a lot with people in the learning institutions and parents. Second level is in high school levels during the teen years. And one of the feedback that you hear is science subjects are too hard. I don't want chemistry, I don't want physics, maths is getting overboard, and for sure, it's also another area where we could do a lot of encouragement. And we are having programming that will actually address that. Then we get into college, age 18, between 18 and 24, maybe for the undergrad or diplomas or whatever it is that somebody is taking. And for a long time, there was the debate that these careers are for boys. But I promise you, there are still segments in our society, especially across the African continent, where actually this is a topic. And I want to talk about how it's not necessarily a spoken issue, but necessarily something triggered by just how the society behaves around us. So it's also another area to do a lot of encouragement for girls to keep up. So when you take a choice into an engineering program, or into computer science, or into data science, just sticking in despite the hardships that might take to you to develop the skills that are actually going to help you excel and have a winning project, for example. And then there's the early career. Early career is very interesting. So many years ago, everybody studied CCNA and many other networking programs to build the internet ecosystem. Unix, Linux was our thing. But today, there's a huge dialogue around startups, applications. And so there are core skills that we have identified that people are leaving college not very interested in, but so fundamental to their career. And I've heard a lot of people say the new graduates are really hard. They have such serious gaps, especially when they come to an industry like the one represented here. And this is because there are many fundamental skills that we took on earlier in the days when the internet ecosystem was just developing, but are no longer being offered as critical because a lot of infrastructure has been developed and has stabilized. And so recently we recruited somebody from one of the universities in Kenya, and she said to me, and she's in data science, she said to me, I just learned that I can't really be able to do too much without going back to the command line and just learning some Linux skills. So I'm actually going to take up an LPI course. And I asked, how many of your classmates have this problem? He said, most people are not even aware they have the problem, that they will have challenges fitting into certain areas just because of that. So these are some of the fundamentals that are really challenging people, but it's across the board for different areas. That's just an example of one of the areas. So tech careers and engineering jobs are too isolating. I promise you, it might take, in the early days of someone's career, a lot of time out as you take on your interest and pursue your hard skills. And out of that, and this applies to both men and women, a lot of Females may feel, that's not exactly the life I want, especially because it depends on how many is around you. So what we want to do is we want to focus on things that help people join their career and remain into it. Because as you look at the last row there, you'll see that there's senior leadership. Can you see the final drop? That's a straw. I don't know how many women are sitting here and are in senior leadership and are technical. They are not usually very many. And that's because from the pipeline, they've been reducing over the time. So that's what our programming addresses under the Women Leadership Program. So our program focuses on certain plug activities, professional education, outreach, mentorship, skills training, projects, fellowships, tours, conferences, workshops, anything that actually helps us to network, coaching, job shadowing, and any incentive programs that can actually motivate girls to stick into STEM when they get in. And we will be looking for partnership. If you want to plug in into these activities, you can join us. And who can join the program? Universities, colleges, training providers, talent development departments, media, industry collaboration partners such as the AF-STAR organizations or related, industry players or corporates and funders, because we have programming that allows us then to respond. What we do is we create affinity groups like birds of a feather or special interest group that cut across geographies or countries, and women in technology groups that can also be within your corporate organization and inspire the change that you can actually be able to motivate within your community where you serve. You don't need to get out of your comfort zone. You just need to get organized and do what you need to do, whether it's impact work or to just collaboratively make sure that you're creating opportunities for growth and for women to stick into the pipeline so that we don't have the leakage. So right now, the programs that we have, how you can join the program, you can partner to upskill women staff members. We have some trainings and we did put some inserts into the bags, but you can also reach out to me or Barbara, who's going to be coming into the next session. We can help you implement what we call gender equality plans. That is like a strategic way of making sure that you're taking care of the women, technical women within your communities by engaging in different activities in your organization, create mentorship and sponsorship opportunities, and also advocate for funding and policy changes that prioritize women-led initiatives. So that's how to join the program. And we have right now some programming that allows us to train at least 500 women. You can participate or you can come and just enroll for free to certain programs. Our aim is to increase the participants' competence levels and proficiency levels in the areas that we are training on by 50%, and to boost, especially the entry-level women at this stage, their confidence levels to actually pick up their careers quickly without necessarily feeling like they are lost in the industry. Many people leave college and they feel like they are a bit lost as they kind of identify themselves and how they are going to grow. So this programming that we are inviting you to, and we are ready to actually screen and you can scan in my next slide, is a program to help us develop young entry-level women who are already in your organizations to actually upskill and find community in areas of growth. And the focus of this one that we're going to be sharing is purely on the areas that have been covered here by the organizations that were represented here. So women in entrance, registries, IXPs, community networks, or infrastructure operators. So you're welcome to collaborate with us. You can see me or Barbara, or you can visit our website and contact us. But the beauty is that we are here and you can talk to us and we can talk on that. So the trainings that are available right now cover these areas, and we have partners with partnerships with ISOC, NSRC, AFNOG, and Diplo Foundation around these areas that touch on some of the professional areas. These are courses, some of them are subsidized, but just a few. The rest are actually programs that you can actually access for free to improve your learning, and they are virtual or virtual instructor-led sessions or physical tutorials that are scheduled. So all these training opportunities are immediately available to the ecosystem here. So we want to encourage you to talk to the young ladies in your organizations that have just joined, either interns or early career, to just take up this at their own pace by joining the program so that they can be able to upskill and settle into your organization's AfCHIX. And so we are seeking collaboration with your HR departments to support those women. So you can scan this QR code to get the form that can help you to enroll your self or your organization so that we can be able to reach out to you and help your colleagues access the programming. So that's actually the end of my presentation. But lastly, let's invite you to the AFCHIX Tech Women Summit, which will happen alongside AIS in Accra, Ghana next month. But the first, AIS is next month, but ending in early October. So we plan to host an event on the 1st of October in Accra for the women in Accra. So if you're in Accra, please feel free to join us for the AFCHIX Tech Women Summit. So thank you very much. That was the end of my presentation, and you're welcome to join our program.